Euphoria Season 3, Episode 6. Let's go. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan 680.
I'm Angela, Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. You know what to do, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. And let's get right to it. We're finally back to the world of Euphoria, guys. I do apologize. We had a little mishap here. That's why what I always say, Angela, it's hard for us to commit to TV shows just because there's a lot going on in our
life happens
in our daily lives and everything. So keep that in mind, guys. But overall, Euphoria has definitely been a really good season. I mean, I've really been enjoying a lot of the key points here, a lot of the mishap, if you will, a lot of Alamo, a lot of interesting key notes, if you will. I just really been enjoying Rue's character arc and really Jules. There's a lot of character development between everybody. So it's really interesting to see Sam Levinson really take this in a whole new shape and film in a whole new different way, which we've been really digging and really loving the filming style of this. But anyways, so guys, we did miss episode 5, so we're gonna kind of just, it's pretty much, I'm gonna put it point blank and simple. Obviously we knew the outcome of Nate and everything. We know that, he owes a lot of money. So then this kind of, Cassie leaves him and now she's full throttle into OnlyFans and Maddie's managing her. And then of course, you
see kind of like how she's kind of built up her following, how Maddie's kind of taking her to a whole new level.
Yeah.
And it's kind of seeing like how much can Cassie grow into this new adult industry.
Exactly. How could she manage and everything? Because she has to learn what she was supposed to do in another point because of the fact that now, even more so, there's someone she don't want to mishap on this opportunity, kind of miss this opportunity, big opportunity here. But that episode was called "This Little Piggy," and of course that little piggy's about Cassie's little piggy feet and how much fetishes they are in OnlyFans. It goes full throttle, man. Crazy. It goes full throttle and everything. But yeah, we would kind of take a point into this, but episode 6. There's a lot to unravel here. Pretty much, the little piggy episode is just only different fetishes that we didn't even know existed sometimes. And I was just like, what the hell? Yeah. Like, wow, like some crazy shit. I know the opening of this episode, I thought was really clever. I thought it was really good. The whole she's getting so much bigger subscribers, and I thought it was kind of comedy by Sam Levinson and everything. I really did enjoy that. It was so stupid though. It was just ridiculous humor that I really did enjoy. But anyways, guys, yeah, it's pretty much Cassie's episode, if you will. And then now we get into this episode where we talk about Stand Still and See. Where at the very end of the cliffhanger of the little piggy episode, we see Rue kind of stuck in a ditch, and she is dug in there, and she is now, her head's just sticking out. Alamo's about to, looks like,
so
beat the shit out of her.
Obviously, we see Rue is cooperating with the authorities, with our government.
She's a snitch.
She's becoming a snitch now.
Yep.
And you see,
she's a rat.
That Alamo hasn't quite caught on to that, but he does have his suspicions jumping back to the robbery of the strip joint that Rue and Magic had witnessed. So he was very much like, she lived with so-and-so for how many years, and she didn't recognize their voices. So
from
it
the
definitely
robbery from the previous
starts to break down the relationship that Alamo had with Rue. Yeah. He's starting to question things now. And I'm kind of curious to see how many more episodes it's going to go until Rue is essentially found out about her being a snitch.
Yeah, this is definitely Rue's episode. Zendaya's performance in here carries almost the entire episode, if you will, and really, really ravels the fact that, she is a rat, and some shit's about to go down. And you get to see that a little bit take a unfold here. And you see the chaotic, it kind of spirals a little bit, knowing that now Rue gets even more terrified and more scared. But in all sense, though, Alamo is just thinking that Rue's using again, or she's on and off.
Or maybe she still has loyalties to Lori.
Yeah, questioning her loyalty a lot, and we get to see that. So again, we go back to where like Alamo doesn't know the reason why she's nervous. The reason why she's acting like this because she's a fucking rat. That's all I'm saying.
It's gonna come to heads.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. It's a shocking value definitely here. It talks about a little bit more. So we're gonna be jumping here and there. We're gonna talk about spoilers, obviously, guys. So it's a spoilers review.
You've been warned.
Yeah, you've been warned. But this whole concept of like Rue kind of and Jules, I hate their relationship in this episode. I hate their scene together because you get to see Jules act so like she acted like a dick. Like it just to Rue and where they're just eating and chilling and she just wants to be in her company. And Jules is like, why are you lying to me? Because I think she asked her, are you in a relationship? And why did Rue lie, though? That's another thing.
That's the whole point is like, that's what Rue has done in the past. She's really hurt Jules. And, Rue seems to make a portrayal that, hey, I'm changed. I'm different. We're grown.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when Rue is doing that, when she's still lying and Jules knows, it really doesn't help the situation. Like, she just knows, like, it's the same old.
Yeah, no,
so
exactly.
I think that's what brings up a lot of that pain from the past from Rue Line. I think that's why she acts that way. She's very defensive because she remembers how much she got hurt by Rue last time. So that's just me. I don't think she was being a jerk per se. I think
she was
Jules
being
is just being
a little bit.
I just think she's trying not to get hurt again.
I get that. Guard your heart. I get that. But at the same time, though, you cannot ignore the history you have with each other. You know? But even though it was toxic, a little toxic, a little bit, the tone definitely shifts into a darker realm, guys. And it talks about one of the key things I really did love about this episode was Rue. She really, really seeks religion. She seeks. I thought that was very touching to me, and she really seeks a higher power, if you will, because her life is. She feels, and again, this is just me. Take it with a grain of salt, guys. I feel like she feels it's about to be a clusterfuck, and everything's about to go to shit. And I think she senses that. She senses the tension in her life. She senses the fact that something's bad's about to happen. That's why she seeks religion. I mean, from the get-go, though, from this episode, from this season, we've heard her like listen to the Bible throughout the season.
I think she has a little audible book. For it.
Yeah, and she's all, and if I'm not mistaken, Maddie even says it like, I'm skipping ahead, sorry, but we'll go back. But she literally says like, well, Jesus is coming. She's like, who's Jesus came? And Rue doesn't. It's so crazy to me the fact that Rue doesn't know the story of God, or it just, I mean. It's really, really crazy to me. And hey, freedom of religion, I get that and everything, but it's just crazy to me how she didn't know anything towards that. But it's definitely unreal. It really is, because I feel for Rue. I care about Rue, and I want everything to happen good to Rue. But this whole season has just been a cluster with her. Like, it's just like, you would think she would be grown by now, but it's just
hard because again, we've seen her kind of get herself in more and more into trouble. She just can't quite catch a break, can't quite get out of that life that around drugs and illegal activity and blah 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 and so forth. For me, I thought was interesting was when she is in the church, like that scene you mentioned is where she's in the church reflecting, praying, and then I think her mom calls her. Yeah. And then we see the conversation with her mom. It's very seemingly out of the blue, but we come to find out why her mom calls her later.
It connects it all.
Which I thought was crazy because I think she really needed that pick-me-up of reconnecting with her mom on a certain level. And like I said, when you find out later why, I think it just kind of brings her back down.
This episode's biggest strength is how it balances a thriller mixed with like, I guess it's all in her head because she's just overthinking everything, analyzing everything. And it's definitely a nerve. I mean, at the same time, though, there's some seasons, ongoing problems are still there. We know that. So we're going to jump a little bit ahead. So Jules continues to feel, people are saying that she even still, and I get it because I saw another critic say this, and I agree because after looking at this perspective, how much time do we get at Jules really? She hasn't really got there. People are saying that she's very underwritten in this season. I'm all like, oh shit. Like when you think about it, you're like, well, you're trying to see how many times was she in this season already, and it hasn't been that much. We get a small glimpse of her with the man with the sugar daddy,
and I think even also like we see how Rue was kind of like stirring up trouble in Jules'
but is
life.
Rue wrong though about that?
No, like it was I think Rue left a pair of boxers in her but in her bathroom, and then the guy was like, I have a wife, I have kids, you cannot give me something that I would STD, give to somebody. Yeah. And so it's like,
and it seems like it's an open relationship because the wife does know about it.
Yeah.
But regardless though, we go back to where Jules is right. You know, she brings it up. I'm sorry, Rue is right about Jules, and she brings it up again. And I think in this same episode, she brings up the fact that you're just his little plaything, and he can come out like you're so locked in this house or in this apartment, and you're only his, and you don't see it, and he just comes, he plays with you for a little bit, then he leaves, and he gets to live his life, and you don't get the life to live. And I understand where Rue's coming from with that. It's because at the end of the day, I feel like that Rue still cares about Jules, loves her still. But at the same time, Jules just doesn't want to be loved by Rue for whatever reason. I just feel that way. I just take it whatever.
Given their history with the lying and... I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. And so, so Jules continues to feel unwritten. Nate's storyline is repetitive. We see this episode again where the guy that he owes money with looks like it took off his finger.
Yeah.
So cut off his finger and then took off the toe again, the one they cut off like 2 episodes ago.
Oh my gosh.
So it's very repetitive.
Reattached.
Yeah. And I'm all like, again, he just got $30,000. What did he do with that money?
Well, I think it was one of those things where bad timing. So apparently we get the impression that Cassie has been Venmoing or wiring him money to make these payments or to do whatever. I do think he has been paying this dude or whoever this is money.
I don't know.
That Cassie's been sending him. But I think it was more like a payment schedule because I think in Rue's narration in that scene, like Cassie wired Nate one last payment of $30,000 and Rue was like, he had just missed, even with that last wire, he missed the last payment. So that's why they sent that guy to teach him a lesson with the ring.
Oh, you're talking about Maddie, right?
Rue? Yeah, she was narrating that scene.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So like,
but she says like even with Cassie wiring him that $30,000 payment,
but she said
when she says
because he was going to lose the house.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
She was like, he still missed this guy's last payment. So I think there's like some sort of payment schedule or deadline that he had. So you see him just get like the wire, like the little notification that he got the money, and then he pours himself to drink because he's like, finally, I'm done, I'm good. But then I think the guy who's been sent to his house sees it as like, I'm celebrating, and I don't, and takes it the wrong way. Bad timing.
I still think he owes a shitload of money.
I still think he owes a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy to see. I'm really curious to see how much Cassie in total has sent Nate, because he's obviously at that point where he's trying to.
He's supporting her.
He's
100%.
Supporting her.
Even sleeping with another guy.
Like, yes, like he's very so much supporting her in like whatever gets you money, it's gonna be
good.
This is gonna be good for you. It's gonna make you popular. It's gonna get you money. So he very much has done a 180 on his original post or position of absolutely not. You are not going to do porn, blah, blah, blah. So it's really interesting to see how money has changed him.
Yep.
Again, I am curious to see if Cassie's ever going to go back to Nate in that house or what's going to happen with her career. But I don't think anything's going to happen until Nate finally pays off everything. And you kind of see him towards the end. I think we might touch on it later. But you kind of see him towards the end of his the episode where he kind of has like a mental breakdown in the field of these flowers that have stopped his development. And
he has a mental breakdown.
He kind of has a mental breakdown. He's just so frustrated about how wrong everything has turned out so far.
Yeah, and then also you get, in that same context, if you will, Nate's he's at a slump. He really does.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what the hell to do because it's California state flower, or it's a California endangered flower.
Like an endangered
That's
flower.
how fucked up California is. I'm just saying. That's how fucked up it is. But yeah, the way they do the regulations and everything, because in reality, you never know. Nate probably would have been maybe done a little bit better in a different state. You never know with all this regulation with the state flower, or it's not even the state flower. I think it's just an endangered flower.
I think it's an endangered flower. I don't think like to see
we
that.
can't just grab it and put it in a pot and then put it somewhere else. Like,
No,
gosh,
it's a
come on.
field.
Oh my gosh. I'm just saying. It could be a lot easier. We just move it. But anyways, you know, I would even say episode, this is definitely one of the interesting episodes. I would say episode 5 would probably be the weakest one. And this one is definitely one of the strong suits, especially of a thriller and everything. You know, Rue survives, the brutal cliffhanger that they left us, that with Alamo about to, you know, hurt her in a way when he was on his horse and everything. So we get to see kind of a narrowly escapes death, if you will. We see Alamo with Maddie kind of connect a little bit, but Rue warns about Alamo.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. So
Rue
we
warns
see
Maddie about that.
Maddie okay, so we see also another thing we
Yeah.
haven't talked about is essentially Cassie tries to fire Maddie as her manager.
Oh yeah,
remember?
early on, yeah.
She does pretty early on.
Yeah.
She tries to. She thinks that like because that dude that essentially
Yeah.
was the reason why Cassie exploded. He was tagging her and stuff. He tries to convince her like, we have a better production team. We
Yeah.
can make you more famous. You need to drop Maddie, right?
Yeah.
So Cassie kind of, I think she's still in that state where she's still kind of gullible. And so she tries to fire Maddie. And then Maddie kind of whips back and was like, oh, well, I got you this audition for this TV show. And we'll just cancel it. So that's what Cassie wants to do. She wants to jumpstart into acting. And so
Yeah.
Maddie still manages her. But I think that's really changed a lot in Maddie's point of view where she needs to up her game.
Yep.
And so she does in a certain scene in the diner that where she has a conversation with Alamo. And I do think she's smart enough to know that he's a very dangerous man. But I think she's also smart enough to be like, I can make this work. And she does. She, at the very end of the episode, she does strike up a deal essentially with Alamo to manage some of the girls in the club.
Yeah.
And promote them. Not all of them, but just a few of them.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see how that's going to go. And if Maddie is going to heed Rue's warning, because Rue just try to say, hey, no, he's a dangerous guy, don't do it.
So I mean, to even cliffhanger that, you know, I would even say that Rue is seeking spiritual awakening, if you will, because of the fact that she doesn't know where else to go. She doesn't know what's right. She doesn't know what's right in her direction because she can't see an end.
I think she knows what's right. I think she's just,
I'm
so into the hole right now. How do I get myself
exactly?
out?
That's what I'm saying. Like there's like she knows what's right, but at the end of the day, it could get her killed. So it's like, is it really right? So that's why she's questioning everything. That's why she has this spiritual awakening, if you will. And so I just feel like, really expands a little bit more on that. And then of course, this, I know we're probably talking, you know what? We're talking about episode 5 and 6 a lot. I'm sorry, guys. So in this episode, we actually get Alamo's backstory. Which I thought was
interesting. I liked that it started off with.
It was fucking great. I loved it.
I think when the con was revealed, I was like,
Dude.
my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my God, goodness.
Yeah, like I was so like when we first got into it, this episode, if you will, and I was all like, oh fuck, it's Alamo. I knew it. And as soon as she said his name, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good episode. I love it when Euphoria really does these episodes, and they did it a lot in season 1 when they introduced us all their characters, what they were into, their fetishes or whatever, just life, drugs.
And it was very quick. It took, a few minutes to
and it was their
tell
upbringing.
the story of his, like a small part of his upbringing, and that really shaped who he is now.
Yeah.
It was so quick. You don't need to have like a whole episode of him, just a quick 5-minute intro. Or 6-minute intro, whatever it was, of his backstory. And that's why he is the way he is right now.
Yeah.
And so I appreciated that. I liked seeing his backstory.
Yeah,
that was crazy,
here.
man. His mom was crazy.
Dude, his mom. Yeah, the cold open gives Alamo's tragedy story, an origin story, if you will. Why is he so fucked up the way he is? It pretty much explains it, expands on it a lot. So, you know, this is classic Euphoria at its right moment. It really is. And I love it when they do this. And they just do it so very well. Dangerous people without excusing them, you know, it humanizes them a little bit. And so that was, I think it was it Rue that said it? She's like, yeah, at that moment, Alamo was never going to be outsmarted by a bitch again. I think that's what she said. I think that's what she said. Or a woman. I'm sorry.
No,
but,
I mean, I know you're.
Yeah. So the episode strongly hints that, you know, Alamo's obsession with control, he's a control freak. since
He always
childhood.
has to be like 2 steps ahead.
Yeah,
and-
exactly. He always has to think, you're gonna fuck me. And remember, he gets mad about the pants deal. Remember, he gets mad about the pants, and he like almost loses his shit.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm 6 whatever.
6'5", yeah.
And he's like, these pants are made for someone who's 5'9". Do
Yeah.
I look 5'9"? It's just really interesting to see
Yeah.
him react that way. And then also, I think it ties back to the briefly, you see his reaction to the club manager who essentially let the place be robbed. And even though he was shot, he gave up the code to the safe and let these documents and important documents and money being stolen. And you see him like really still upset about that. I thought it was, again, you see kind of the character he is. You see more and more of him. And again, we're just kind of seeing like what's going to happen when the lid comes off and he finds out Rue has been a snitch for it. And she does. I think she starts to record and provide the FBI some or the DEA
because they're listening in
evidence. Yeah, she's
on
recording
80 kilos, I think 80 kilos.
Yeah, and
through
then,
an ambulance in Mexico that they're gonna drive through, and it's like,
So again, you see another part of this last episode was Alamo makes a deal with Lori. To get the documents or whatever he wants back. She asks him
the
to
money.
drive.
He wants his money back.
Money and I think important documents, not just money. But and
the drugs, apparently.
But he has to strike up a deal. He has to, like you say, drive how many kilos, and that part of the conversation is recorded. So that's gonna be interesting when the coppers are gonna stop it. And I'm really interesting to see again how many more episodes until the cat's out of the bag.
Well, there's only 2 left. There's only 2. That's it.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. So
it's gotta be the next episode. It's gotta be. I don't think that cat big old reveal would be the last episode.
No,
absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think it would probably be, in my opinion, the last part, like very last bit of the next episode.
Yeah.
And then all hell's gonna break loose. Episode 8's gonna be like all hell breaks loose, and definitely, is this the last season or one more?
Yeah, it's the last season. Yeah. So there's only 2 episodes left. 2 hours left of this, and I'm not ready for it to end. We get it, and it looks like fans have really spoken up, and I think I saw someone else say like Maddie. They feel like Maddie is the only one that's not making rational decisions, or that she's the only character making. She's the only character making rational decisions, if you will.
Smart,
that makes and I feel like she's the only smart person in this season with everything that's been going on. But again, though, Rue does warn her about Alamo, so I'm actually kind of interested because he does flip out. He does go crazy whenever Maddie asks about the girls getting time off or whatever. He's like, bitch need to make me money or whatever. What do you say? Like something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But,
day off. Like,
yeah, I think they're definitely going to learn how to communicate with each other. But I am curious to see if Maddie is ever going to be like, you know what, I should listen to Rue. He is a dangerous man.
Exactly.
So we'll see. There's a lot to unpack.
We'll see what we find
in the next few episodes. There's a lot to anticipate. I have my predictions, but hopefully, again, it's just hard to say. Again, I do make the prediction that next episode is going to be the reveal of you have been the snitch all along.
I don't know. We'll see.
But
right before we end on that high note, let's go back to Cassie real quick on that scene where she actually has, I think she did Shakespeare this previous episode.
Yes,
and they talk about
audition.
it. And what she does on set, I don't know about you, I really loved it, but at the same time though, it was real. It triggered her. That word, honeymoon. It was honeymoon.
Yeah. Honeymoon's over.
Honeymoon is over. It triggered her.
Yeah. So she got the part, obviously.
And she did this off the script, off the wall thing,
which people think is improv. Like in that moment, it was. But then people,
it triggered her.
Yeah, I think one of the characters sets a line, and it triggered her to that moment where the guy who snipped off Nate's pinky toe was like, honeymoon's over. And that definitely brought back trauma from that. So yeah, her reaction on screen is real. The director and stuff, they go with it.
Yeah.
And
ends up being really great.
It ends up being really great scene.
Yeah. And she gets her character written in.
That's crazy. We'll see how that comes out.
I'm not gonna lie, and they were at the Warner Brothers lot.
They are at the Warner Brothers lot because it has the big water tower.
Which we've been there. But here's the thing. I really do enjoy when stuff happens like that, I really do. I love watching behind the scenes where they actually do stuff like that. So whether it's something, and a lot of times too, you know, actors and actresses, they really say like, even, you know, Pedro Pascal and the Oscar Isaac, Jenna Ortega, you know, even Adam Sandler, they always talk about all these random actors I just named, Diego Luna. They all talk about how they bring their personal emotions into these characters. And they just unravel. They just become one on their own, like, you know, Diego Luna as Cassian. And so just, yeah. And you get to see, and Diego Luna's fucking amazing in Narcos as the drug cartel leader. And so you get to kind of see whereabout is it, what a turning point is. A lot of actors, they'll say it. They'll say it a lot. They'll be like, the greatest scene that I had, the greatest audition I had was when I improv for one, or two, you just had this emotional connect and you just fucking let it go. Fuck it. I mean, there's only, once you're at the bottom, I mean, not saying you're at the bottom, but like once, you know, you didn't get the part, what's the worst thing that can happen when you improv or when you just don't get the part? You're back where you're at, you know? And so I love it when actors do that. So I really, really appreciated Cassie. I know it was staged, it was really scripted, but at the same time, that was really good scripted. Like I felt like that she really did improv, and I thought it was really great seeing her kind of, you know, be this crazy white girl that just loses her shit over this trigger word. But yeah, Hollywood, you know, rewards trauma in its own authenticity way. It really does. It rewards trauma. It talks about trauma. And it's very interesting to see that. But
yeah, I'm curious to see if her career is going to take off. I want to see how her sister reacts, because obviously this is bothering her sister succeeding in this industry that she's worked so hard. But also, the sister is getting the chance to write Cassie's character.
Exactly.
And so the sister does kind of have
the one that
power.
bitched a lot. It was like, Cassie has no experience. Cassie this, Cassie that. Actually is going to save her career because she's giving her the opportunity to write her story in. I thought that was great.
I think it's also the opposite. The sister does have a determining factor of how much of a career Cassie has, because she could kill off her character in an episode or two.
Yeah, yes and no. I feel like that she can't do it just yet because she wants to still be relevant, because she could be like, well, my character's still in there, which is Cassie's character. So it's like, I feel like that she won't do that. But yeah, we'll see how the closure ends in that in that cliffhanger for that for those characters. But we're gonna end this episode, guys. We're gonna end it with the most amazing, brilliant scene that I really did love. The very end, it looks like Rue was about to get into a crazy car crash over listing the Bible on a DVD or a CD. I'm sorry, CD. Which I thought was really cool. It's really cool to see CDs. I'm just saying, it's really cool. Besides digital, you know, all this stuff. We all have digital, right? But I still enjoy CDs. But you know, it talks about it was very foreshadowing on, you know, the burning bush, which symbolizes the burning bush of Moses when he was freeing the Israelites from slavery. And so it's the centerpiece of this episode. It really is, because Ruth's staring at this bush that's on fire.
Yeah, she's brought to her knees in disbelief.
Yeah, and sees a bush, and just echoing the biblical turning, you know, bush of the mention of what it suggests here. Like, she needs God in her life, divine destiny, or Ruth searching for meaningful, like, chaos, if you will. And it's just kind of like, you know, she needs a spiritual awakening, and I feel like that she's really leaning on towards God. And it seems like that her character is a lot. And so it kind of ends in that note, and I really did love that by Sam Levinson. I thought that was really brilliant to kind of end us with that symbolization there, if you will. So I really did love that, and yeah, she's emotionally breaking under pressure, definitely. And we're going to see how this drug mule or drug operation goes, because she's now going to have to be driving.
I know.
Oh man, I feel so bad with her. And that's the thing. All this shit that she's doing, it's not high school, man. You're gonna go to prison for life. You can just leave it like that, guys. I think
it's more, like I said, now that the FBI has been or the DEA is kind of tuned into.
Yeah.
Been listening. I am curious to see how they're gonna play it because obviously they're gonna try it once the reveal happens, how it's gonna reveal.
Yep.
I do think it's gonna be next episode. I can't imagine them pushing it off to the last episode. But again, I just Rue's gonna have a tough time, because she's gonna be basically in danger from Alamo.
Yep.
We've seen him every episode get worse on how much more dangerous he is than we realize.
Yep.
And I know Ruin's getting more and more scared.
Oh, she is. 100% she is. She wants to be out of that. All right, guys. There you have it. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day, guys. Thank you so much for watching our YouTube. If you're listening to us on a podcast form, thank you for listening to us on a podcast form. And we cannot wait to unravel the season finale. Unfortunately, guys, we will not be available for the season finale. We're actually going on a cruise, sadly. I really am sad, though. I really fucking am, because I really want to see we're going to have to, I'm going to have to download it somehow when we're in Alaska or somewhere, because I really want to see the ending of this.
I don't have Wi-Fi on board.
Yeah, so I definitely want to see the ending of this episode, because it's just a lot's going to unravel here, and I just hope it ends well for everybody. I really do, especially for Rue. But
there'll be two Saturdays where we're not going to be able to record.
All right, guys. Well, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Akinola Ryan 680.
I'm Angela, that kid.
Stay tuned, guys. We got a lot of movies coming out for you guys. A lot of movie reviews coming out before we head out. So stay tuned later this week. Have a good one. See you at the movies. Latest.